A prior video introduced recipes. Here, we will see how to do even more with the recipe approach. I start by opening the recipe workroom by clicking on the respective workroom tab. Then I open a recipe I previously made using the drop-down menu. I select a dataset to work with. Previously, I showed that you can delete some steps in a recipe. Other modifications are available. For example, click the pencil icon and you could add documentation to that step in the recipe. You can also rename a step in the recipe. Finally, you can add snapshot steps that take a snapshot of the 3D viewer after the step is completed. Renaming and documenting steps minimizes confusion in multi-user environments, or when there are several similar sounding steps. Snapshots help illustrate the progress of a recipe and are important for reporting. There is an open circle to the left of most steps in the recipe. Clicking here adds a break. That means the recipe will pause when this step is reached. If you navigate to the Properties window, you can see the properties of the step that the recipe has paused on. Optionally, you can modify the parameters before continuing. This adds interactivity to a recipe, useful for handling data that are difficult to generalize settings for. It is also possible to skip a step. That can be useful if you have an optional setting that is not always applied. In this example, I will remove the break and update my save. An important feature of recipes is enabled by this checkbox. This places the recipe workroom into production mode. When this is checked, results are saved to disk instead of being stored in memory. The directory is relative to where recipes are stored in a subfolder called Recipe Results. In this mode, a column is enabled allowing you to choose to save intermediate results to disk. That can be useful if you want the output of a time-consuming step without having to reprocess the data. Run the recipe as usual. The results are not placed in the project view. Instead, they are stored in the folder mentioned earlier. You will see subfolders with a timestamp and each requested output file and snapshot. To illustrate, here's a snapshot viewed in an external photo viewer.